When and where were you born?
I was born in Warrica, Oklahoma, and this was, I don't even want to talk about this. This was in 1934.
Oh, you was in the middle of the Depression.
There you go.
Who were your family members?
Well, I had a family member. We were farmers, had a large family. I was right in the middle of the litter of, there was a total of 6 boys and 1 girl.
6 boys and 1 poor girl.
1 poor girl.
And what'd your daddy do?
He was a farmer.
He was a farmer.
Yes.
And you consider that place in Oklahoma your hometown? That's where you went to school?
No, that's where I went to school, but I departed there in the early 1950s, and the reason behind that, there was very little work for anyone at that time period, and had to seek employment, and then I started to college, and dropped out of college, run out of money, dropped out of college, and I was a little bit more interested in the good-looking girls than I were in the academics.
I see. How did you come to enter the military?
Well, like I said, once I dropped out of college, there was a little notice come to me that I am now #1 on the draft list. So I was not unemployed, but for a short time period.
Did you let them draft you, or did you enlist?
I let them draft me.
And this was what year?
1956.
56, right in the middle of a little bit of peace in this country.
Yes.
Where'd they send you to boot camp?
Well, I'll tell you what, I went to a place of all places, Fort Bliss, Texas.
And you did basic there. Where'd you do AIT?
Well, AIT there also, and the Army decided at that time period that I should be a clerk typist. Well, nothing wrong with being clerk typist. However, that didn't quite suit my needs.
So what did you do?
Well, once I completed the clerk typist school, the Army decided that I needed to go and be assigned to U.S. Army garrison in Gießen, Germany. And so I was assigned to Germany as a clerk typist.
How long did you stay there?
I stayed there finished up the full 2 years, and so that would have been about 1.5 years there.
And did you then get out of the Army?
No, I decided to stay in based upon the fact that I was doing something right, because I was promoted, and promoted all the way to a sergeant at that time.
Oh, 3-stripe buck sergeant?
That's correct, yes.
So you re-enlisted?
Re-enlisted, and I decided to, at that time period, I re-enlisted for the infantry, and I was signed down to a little place known as Fort Benning, Georgia.
Fort Benning, Georgia. And what'd you do there?
At Fort Benning, Georgia, I was assigned to the 9th Infantry, and this was a basic training unit, and I spent some time as a S2 of the unit, and then I did some work with the infiltration course for the trainees.
And how did you come to go to Vietnam?
Well, I'll tell you what, I decided after a period of time at Fort Benning that I still was a little bit bored, and heard of an organization called Special Forces.
Uh-oh.
So I decided at that time period to give that a try. I volunteered for Special Forces. I volunteered to become a paratrooper, and I had to, of course, volunteer again for the military. And with that, I was they were reassigned. Special Forces accepted me, and I was assigned to Special Forces training in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Did you do your jump school there as well?
No, that is correct, yes.
Okay. All right. And what did your Special Forces folks declare your MOS to be?
They decided that I should be a Special Forces Intel Sergeant.
Intel Sergeant.
Yes.
Very good. How soon after that did you get orders for Vietnam?
Well, I spent probably about close to a year and a half in training to become Special Forces qualified, and I think my training was cut just a little bit short, and I happened to be sitting on a submarine off the coast of Cuba at the Bay of Pigs, waiting to see whether we would launch and go ashore or not.
And decided happily not to.
That is correct, yes. So that
Cut that short.
that cut that one short. Then I was assigned initially then to a team that was to go into Laos, and the Laotian government changed, so they just diverted me to South Vietnam.
Okay, and
That was in early 1963.
63, early days in
Yes.
Vietnam. How did you get to Vietnam, and where did you land?
All right, went in a commercial aircraft and landed in Saigon.
Yeah.
And like I said, with that, at that time period, there's always a little story I like to tell about this, and they decided that I needed some international driver's license. Well, they sent me to Saigon to get some international driver's license, and 2 days later I made a parachute jump into a mountain yard village in Vietnam, and the only vehicles there was two deuce-and-a-half trucks that wouldn't run, and the village chief had a little pony. The reason I bring that up is that picture, 9 years later, 19 body wounds later, that picture showing up with so much bounty on me, dead or alive, by the North Vietnamese.
Oh, they wanted you.
That's right.
But that international driver's license never helped you.
That international driver's license was the photograph that the North Vietnamese got a hold of.
All right, and so what does the Special Forces assign you to do now that it's 1963 and you're floating around in Vietnam?
I was at a little Special Forces A team, and we were training indigenous personnel to protect their own village. And this was
What camp was it?
that was in Giavuk, and that happened to be what later become Second Corps.
Mm-hmm. And what big town was anywhere close?
It was out in the mountains, about 80 kilometers from Quang Ngai City.
Quang Ngai City.
Yes.
That was bad country.
It has been known to create a little problem.
Yeah, now and then. Quang Ngai especially.
Yes.
How long did your tour last?
That was just a 6-month tour.
6-month tour.
Yes.
You went back home and did what?
Back home then, doing additional training, some specialty trainings, and then I was sent back again in 1965.
Okay. And where did they send you that time?
That time I went into initially into Nha Trang as a replacement, and this is kind of a story goes with that. Sergeant Major up in I Corps come and got me and said, "Benny, I want to make you my C-Team Intel Sergeant." I said, "You know, that would be great." Said, "I'll clear post and be up there in about 2 days." Well, 2 days later, I did show up, and the Sergeant Major says, "I've got bad news." Said, "Old Sergeant Earl Petty out in Ashall was just hit. We had to medevac him." Said, "I got to send you out there." Well, I went into the Ashall camp, and this was right in the middle of what had become known as the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Exactly. This is where, to Long Bay or?
No, that was the Ashall camp itself.
Ashall camp.
Yes.
That was really bad country.
They North Vietnamese owned it,
Yeah.
and eventually, like I said, I was in there probably 120 days before we were hit, and it seemed like every day there I was shot at by the North Vietnamese in some way. They were just zeroing their weapons.
You getting ready.
Ready, and they did hit us in the rainy season, and sent
No air support then?
they couldn't get air support, and they owned the ground anyway, and so they sent a full division on us.
Did they take the place?
They did after a 38-hour battle.
And what did you do?
After that 38-hour battle, I went back in the camp with the executive officer to get a wounded SF that was on stretcher. When we come out, we didn't have a ride, so we had to hit the jungle. And
With a wounded man?
yes, and unfortunately, the wounded man died in the jungle on us. But we had to continue, and I was fortunate enough that I had a little FM radio, the old what we call HT1 model, but mine happened to have the antenna shot off of it. But I took my shotgun, stood in the stream, used my shotgun for an antenna, and communicated with a helicopter.
Oh my.
The helicopter come in to pick us up, and they shot the helicopter down. Oh.
You know, you got bad luck there, Benny.
And that bad luck's been following me all the way through that. And that particular period of time, we had to go again because there was a second helicopter come in, but they had to lift out some wounded that was on in the crash of the helicopter that was shot down.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you couldn't get on that one?
no, couldn't get. So we had to go again, and the North Vietnamese were after us,
Yeah.
and we went.
Did you find out how fast you could run through the jungle?
We could still run even after a 38-hour battle and 48 hours in that jungle. We could still run, and this particular helicopter, they started communicating with us to the point that we cut a little strip, and he come in to pick us up. But just before this happened, there was what really saved us was that we started hearing a noise, then some eyes, and about a 400-pound tiger stalked us that night. That tiger smelled the blood and crud on us to the point that the North Vietnamese had encountered those tigers before there. They backed off and gave us room to get away. And with that, the weather broke a little the next day, and we were picked up, and
That tiger saved your life.
absolutely. So now, I happen to have a book that's on the market now. It's selling real well, and it's titled "A Tiger Among Us."
A tiger among us. My goodness, that's a good yarn, Benny.
Yes, that was a nice one, and I'll tell you what, the time a little bit later, I finished up that year.
This is 65 still.
65, 66 year. Finished that year, and then went back to the States, regrouped a little after all of those body wounds, and caught another trip again in 70 and 71. And this time I spent a little bit of time with some type of an organization called the Studies and Observation Group.
Yeah, they studied a lot, didn't they?
I was fortunate enough to spend a year with that and survived. And after that, I was sent back to the States, and they decided at that time period that I should run special operations. And I run special operations all over the world, and my records show that I was in 177 different countries, and most of those as an uninvited guest.
Now, you happen to wear around your neck the highest decoration that this country gives for heroism in combat. How did you earn that medal?
That was in the Ashau camp.
In that Ashau camp?
I was recommended for that, and I did not receive it until a later period of time. I had the pleasure.
How much later?
48 years.
So you got it what year?
In 14.
2014.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why did they wait 48 years?
So much of it was classified. So I had the pleasure of wearing a Distinguished Service Cross for that time period, and
it was upgraded.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes. The people that I worked with in the Special Forces is definitely an elite group of people. You don't have to worry about someone covering your back. They're there, and unfortunately, in the Ashau battle, we had 17 Special Forces there. 5 paid the ultimate price. Mm-hmm. And all 17 were wounded, most of us multi-wounds.
Multiple times?
Yes.
Now, when they came after you in the Ashau, did they bring any tanks with them?
No, they did not.
They did not. They just brought a division of North Vietnamese regulars.
Yes, and a lot of aircraft artillery.
Oh, that makes it hard for you to get any support.
Yes, that is correct.
Can you describe the quality of the leadership in your various outfits?
You just didn't know. It's just the absolute elite top. And most of our leadership should have all been promoted to flag officers, which at that time period, Special Forces was not a branch, and it's rare to see a flag officer.
Yeah, they were kind of prejudiced. If an officer stayed more than 2 tours, they downgraded him.
That's right.
That's wrong.
Probably the worst day that I had in Vietnam was the final day of the Special Forces camp that was under attack at the Ashau camp. And this was when one company of the local civilian irregular defense group decided to change sides and fight with the North Vietnamese.
Oh, that was your guys inside the wire.
That's right, and that opened up the camp where the North Vietnamese army could get in. And
you had held them off till then.
That's correct, and that put us in got in a little hand grenade fights at that time period, yes.
What happened to them folks?
Some of them didn't survive. Probably one of the best days was, I think, after a period of time that I was sent in and they brought in some food and, believe it or not, some real ice cream. And we had an ice cream, a dish of ice cream, and that was probably the best because we had been accustomed to eating fish heads and weebly rice.
Yeah, that ice cream sounds pretty good.
That ice cream was great. A little bit with the Australian.
With Australia.
Yes.
What did you think of them?
They were absolutely quality soldiers.
Yeah.
Yes. The ones that I was associated with were.
Yeah.
The majority of the civilians that I was around seemed, in my opinion, seeking funds from the U.S. and the South Vietnamese military was just, they'd been in war so long that they were ready to quit.
Mm. How much contact did you have with your family back home while you were pulling these 3 tours?
Very, very little.
A letter once in a while?
Just a letter once in a while.
That's about it.
That's it, yes.
Now, you served through some times in Vietnam when back home things were in a mess.
That is my understanding, yes.
Did any of that come over to bother you at all, or did you ignore it?
I ignored it, yes.
Well, after you finished your last tour and went home, what was going home like?
Well, I had a great family to go home with. I was really fortunate there, and like I said, it had a lot of support with the SF people in the rehab it required to get me back in shape to run special ops throughout the world.
Yeah. How long more did you stay in the Army after that 70 tour?
After that last tour, that was, I stayed in about 6 or 7 more years.
Yeah.
In that 6 or 7 years, I was promoted to a first sergeant, or to a master sergeant, and first sergeant, to a sergeant major, then a command sergeant major in that time period. Yes.
In that time period.
Yes,
so
sir.
you retired in what?
78.
78.
Yes, sir.
What'd you do then?
I decided at that time period I needed to go back to school. So I went back to school and I finished a bachelor's degree. I finished 2 master's degrees, and eventually the school decided that I needed a doctorate of law.
And they gave it to you?
That is correct, yes.
Or you earned it?
Yes, that's correct.
That's pretty good. What school was that?
That's Troy University.
Troy University.
Yes.
And what were you doing with all them degrees?
Well, I operate some businesses. I operated an accounting service, opened my own business, and I was also teaching as an adjunct professor, not only at a junior college, but at a major university also.
Did you have any difficulty readjusting to life in the civilian side after?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And by working day and night in a quality family that supports you is made all the difference to me in the world. So that's one reason today that with my foundation that I'm awarding scholarships to these Special Forces enlisted personnel that are transitioning from service.
Yeah. You're doing that yourself?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. Great work. Have you kept in touch with the folks that you served with in Vietnam through the years?
At the present time I have the book that I've written, which the proceeds from the book is going to my foundation, which is working with this. What all has input from all of the other living Special Forces that were in the battle.
Yeah.
And
you've stayed in touch with them.
At that time period, they all have input into the book, and I have it. Unfortunately, we have lost one in the last year of that group, and there's the detachment commander is still alive. Master Sergeant Victor Underwood is still alive. Major John Bradford is still alive, and a Sergeant Major is still alive.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that your Vietnam experience changed you and affected your life afterward?
Yes.
For better or for worse?
I made it better.
Yeah.
It was initially worse, but yes, I made it work for me.
Work for you. Did your time in Vietnam affect the way you think about troops coming back from our wars today?
Absolutely, it does. What I'm seeing with the men and women that are downrange today, I think they have a better, I would say a better care than what we received at that time frame. And thankfully that care may cut out some post-traumatic stress disorders.
We gotta hope.
Yes, sir.
How do you think the Vietnam War is remembered in our society today?
I think it's just, unfortunately, in many of the history books, my understanding, it's just a paragraph.
Yeah, not much.
Yes, sir.
Have you visited the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, the wall in D.C.?
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts when you go there?
I didn't like the idea when it was built, based upon the fact that there was not an American flag with it, and I still think it needs an American flag.
Think it needs a flag?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War Commemoration Project?
Yeah.
You're a part of it today.
Yes, I have.
What do you think of that?
I am not sure exactly what the overall goal of this is going to be.
To welcome home and thank all of the
Yes.
Vietnam veterans.
Yeah, I'm not sure. 50 years may be a little too late for that.
You think it's a little late? Well, you're still here and I'm still here, Benny.
Well, but we didn't. You and I survived it without a welcome home, right?
Yeah, that's true. Have you received your Vietnam veteran lapel pin?
Yes, I have.
You got one.
Yes.
I tell you, this Huntsville, they stuck those things on everybody. I can't give one away.
I have one in my pocket now. You need one?
No, I was going to give you another one. Thank you, Sergeant Major Adkins.
Appreciate you. Thank you. What
Well,
you're doing.